If you're married, do you understand how the spousal Social Security benefit works? I've got 3 real-life examples to help you with that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Understanding how Social Security works is crucial for you to make a great decision on optimizing Social Security and when to draw it. And if you're married or you've been married, we're not going to get into all of the various nuances of it in this video, but if you're married or have been married, then determining or understanding the spousal benefit that exists within the Social Security system, that is critically important as well to making a great decision on when to draw Social Security, your Social Security claiming and drawing strategy, because you want to optimize it for your situation. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are on the line, depending on whether you draw at 62, right at the earliest age, your full retirement age, which for most of us is 67 now, or the latest accrual date, which is 70. And again, if you're married, you might emotionally say, oh, I want to draw right away, as soon as I retire, whatever that age is. But when you're married, you've got to consider, well, is that what's best for our household, for both yourself and your spouse? So recently had a scenario with a client where we were doing spousal benefits, and it was an ideal situation. It really was. And I want to share that example so that you can help understand how the Social Security spousal benefits work. And then a couple other scenarios that contrast that are even more common and how they could impact you. Now, a couple things to note, and then I'll share sort of at a high level how the spousal benefit works. Now, a few years ago, there used to be more advanced claiming strategies where you could really optimize Social Security if you're married or been married on, well, you draw this here and then I'll draw here. And it really allowed you to leverage the Social Security rules and if your circumstances aligned. Well, they, for the most part, phased those opportunities out. And so know that unless you're a widow or widower, there are fewer or limited creative choices these days on, well, if I claimed it through this strategy versus this. And so more so, I want to focus in this video on that spousal benefit, not because there's some creative things out there that only a couple people know. Again, most of those have been phased out, but more so just on how it works so that you can claim correctly. The spousal benefit, essentially, and this is just the boilerplate, there's nuances to it, we'll get into it, but when you claim Social Security, you can claim your own benefit or half of your spouse's benefit, whichever is higher. Your own benefit or half of your spouse's benefit, whichever is higher. Now, there's some nuances, we're going to get into that, but that's essentially how it works. And for folks that aren't familiar with it, they often say, wait a second, if it's better for me to draw half of my spouse's, does my spouse still get their own Social Security? Yeah, they do. It's both. So your spouse can claim theirs if that's higher, and then you, if your Social Security is really low and half of your spouse's is higher, then you can claim that as well. So you get both. And so that's one that has appeared logical to me, but a lot of people don't understand it. So how exactly does that play out in real life? What are some of those nuances? Well, I want to address it using 3 examples. And the first one is one I just recently experienced, and it was really an ideal situation. And so here's the scenario. They've been married for a long time. The husband was the primary breadwinner. Spouse, she actually worked with my wife some, but they've since retired. And his Social Security at full retirement age is, let's just call it $3,500 a month. Her Social Security at full retirement age is $1,200. So therefore, she could claim, he'll claim his, right? She could claim her own, $1,200, or half of his, whichever's higher, and the half of his is obviously higher. Well, here's what makes this ideal. They're the same age. They were born a couple months apart. So that's one. And then the second is the right strategy for them was to wait and draw Social Security at their full retirement age. And here's the reason. This is just sort of tangent. He retired just after turning 65 and then took a contract work to stay on with his company part-time, helping out. So he still had some income. And with some other sources of retirement savings that they'd built up, we'd said, well, let's not draw Social Security early because it would be penalized because you're drawing or you're earning too much. Let's just wait until you're full retirement age and you've got other resources to do that. So it was it made the most sense for them to at least wait until full retirement age, and they are essentially the exact same age. Therefore, when they go to claim Social Security, it'll be next year, he'll draw his own $3,500 a month, and then she will draw the spousal benefit, half of his. Now, what that actually means is she'll get her own $1,200 a month, and then she'll get a spousal benefit in addition that adds up to half of his $3,500, okay? And they'll receive both of those as their monthly income Social Security. So that's the easy one, okay? But I would say, you know, my wife and I are 4 years apart. Most people, you're not going to be the exact same age. So let's use those same details as we talk about scenario number 2. And again, his Social Security is $3,500, hers is $1,200, and he's going to wait to draw because of the circumstances until full retirement age. But the difference in this scenario is they're not the same age. They're not the same age. He is turning 67 or 66 in 8 months is actually the real full retirement age. Let's pretend she's 63. Well, now when he stops working and he reaches his full retirement age, he will draw his $3,500 a month, and then her spousal benefit is still going to be there, half of what his amount is. However, because if she turns her Social Security on at the exact same time as him, then she'll get her Social Security, the $1,200, plus the spousal benefit to equal half of his, but then hers will be reduced because she's drawing before her full retirement age. So the calculation will be there, what would equal half of his, but then there will be the early retirement or early withdrawal reductions to that benefit because she'd be drawing at 63 and not at her full retirement age. I'm not going to do all of that math. I want you to just understand in concept how it works because each person is going to be a little bit different, but you need to be aware of that when you're making a Social Security claiming decision, that if there's going to be a spousal benefit, know that there could be a reduction if that spouse is younger than you and not yet at their full retirement age. So then scenario 3, we're going to bend the rules on that one a little bit more, or change the circumstance just a little bit more. Say because I've taught that to people and they say, well, I don't want to do that. The husband then, or the primary breadwinner in this scenario, then says, I'm going to delay my Social Security until 70 then. And I'll delay it until 70. By that time, my spouse will have reached her full retirement age. I'll draw a higher benefit at age 70, and she'll get half of that, and it won't need to be reduced because she'll have reached her full retirement age. Well, that's mostly true. However, the spousal benefit is capped at the spouse's full retirement age amount. Okay, so yes, and in this case, I'm not making any presumptions about the entire population, but in this scenario, husband was the primary breadwinner, his full retirement age 66 and 8 months, and benefit was around $3,500. If he were to wait until age 70, I think his Social Security would then be closer to $4,400. If he waited until then, and then they both chose to draw Social Security at the same time, but she was still younger than him, she would draw a spousal benefit, and she would get her $1,200 plus a spousal benefit amount, but not a spousal benefit amount that gets her up to half of that $4,400, that age 70 amount. She would still be capped at an amount that brings her up to half of what the spouse's full Social Security or full retirement age amount was. So it's not going to be half of what the age 70 amount is, or age 69 or age 68. It would be half of what that spouse's full retirement age amount was. Therefore, you're going to be giving up a decent amount if that's going to be your strategy. So those are some nuances in how this spousal retirement benefit works. And again, we didn't get into all the nuances and all of the rules and all the intricacies, but hopefully that helps you understand a little bit of the high level factors that you've got to consider. Often, if you earn different amounts, if you and your spouse had the exact same career, made very similar amounts and worked similar lengths of your career, then you're probably not going to have a spousal benefit. It's not really going to matter. It's going to be best for each of you to draw your own Social Security. That's going to be the highest amount. But when you had different length of careers or different income levels, you've got to pay attention to the spousal benefit rules. It's very easy if you're the same age and you're going to draw at the same time. It gets complicated when there's an age difference, and you're going to want to work with your CFP to see when the right time is, the optimal time is for you as a couple to draw your Social Security. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.